This is going to be just the basics of dilations. The center of dilation will always be the origin. And what that means is that, well, let's make this a little bit bigger here. What that means is that the center of dilation will always be 0, 0 right there. When it's not 0, 0, you're going to have to do some different steps, but for what we're about to do, this will get you through. So here's the first example. We are going to dilate this triangle ABC with a scale factor of 2. And just to remember, what this means is the scale factor of 2 means that you're going to take this triangle and times it by 2. So basically, this triangle is going to be twice the size. Now, how do we figure out where the new points go for A, B, and C, to make the A prime, B prime, C prime? The first thing that you'll do is, it's very similar to the rotation. You need to look at your paper and say, what are the coordinates of A? And you'd see very quickly it's -1, -1. This is your x value. This is your y value. B, the coordinates are 1, -1, and C, the coordinates right there would be at 1, 1. Okay, and so after you get the coordinates for all the points of the shape, all you have to do is take whatever scale factor that they give you. Sometimes they call it k, so like k equals 2 would be the same thing as saying the scale factor equals 2. And you take that scale factor and you multiply each part of the coordinates that you got. So 2 times -1 is -2. And 2 times this -1 over here is also -2. And guess what? We know that A prime is going to be found at -2, -2. So here's -2, -2, A prime. And we'll do the same thing all the way through. So B prime will be 2, -2. So 2 times 1 is 2. 2 times -1 is -2. And you can come over here and graph B prime. And we'll do the last thing right over here with C as well. So C prime will be known as 2, 2. After you're done with that, all you have to do is go and connect the points of your new dilated shape. So that's what dilations uh, are basically. They're either going to take the shape and they will make the exact same shape smaller or bigger. And anytime that that scale factor is bigger than 1, right here, if this number is bigger than 1, it makes the shape bigger. If the scale factor is less than 1, it's going to make it smaller. So let's take a look at one of the dilations where it would make it smaller. And again, we're talking about a dilation where the center of dilation is the origin. That means it's right here at 0, 0. So let's go ahead and make this one a little bit bigger. Let's get our coordinates for A, B, and C, and then we'll just multiply it by our scale factor. This will be the last one we do. So A, originally, we see is at -4, -4. B, we see is at -2, 2. And C is all the way out here at 4, -2. Take your scale factor. In this case, it's half. And remember, an abbreviation for scale factor could be K. But we take that scale factor and we are going to multiply it. And before we do this, just remember, if your scale factor is less than 1, that means this triangle, or whatever shape that you're going to do, you're going to recreate it, but it will make it smaller because your scale factor is less than 1. And that brings up another important question. Your scale factor can never be a negative number. Okay, it's always going to be positive. So there you go. Half times -4 is -2. Half times this -4 is -2. And so A prime is -2, 2. And let's just go through and get our multiplication done before we go graph anything. B prime, after we multiply, it's going to be -1, +1. And C prime, after we do the multiplication, will be +2, -1. So let's just go and graph. -2, -2 is A prime. B prime is -1, +1. And C prime is at 2, -1. Connect the points together, and we have successfully dilated the triangle to where it's exactly half the size of what it was before, and it's all centered around the center of origin right here. And let's just do a quick recap and see how this goes. Here, let's cover this up here. couple of things. If the scale factor is bigger than 1, the image will increase. Okay, so we talked about that. If that scale factor is bigger than 1, it's going to increase. If it's a scale factor of 2, it would make it twice the size. If it was a scale factor of 5, that new shape would be 5 times bigger than it was originally. If the scale factor is less than 1, the image will decrease. And finally, um, how do you dilate it? You just get the coordinates and you multiply them by the scale factor, and then you graph those new coordinates. And that's what we did here. We got the coordinates that we saw originally, multiplied it by the scale factor, took all the new coordinates for the prime points, and graphed them. That is a very um, easy type of dilation. There are more complicated ones. This works as long as your center of dilation is being used. Excuse me, as long as your center of dilation is the origin right here, and they tell you what that center of dilation is.